Hey, welcome back, my fellow Clashers. We're going to show you how to 3-star some Town Hall 8s. Let's check it out. And it's inside Savage 7, as always. Look at that, level 16. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And looking pretty good, I must say, as always. I mean, of course, the best Town Hall 7 clan in the game, consistently breaking all of the records for clan points and almost for all of the walls. Hey guys, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. Also, hey, jump over to my Instagram and give me a follow. I try to follow back every once in a while. And checking it out, finding Mini Ed over at Quantum's 8.9. And I love taking on some Town Hall 8s. Now, the first thing to notice is that we always carry some cleanup troops. Cleanup troops go really good with a lot of strats because a lot of strats are all about the funnel. And the funnel is basically creating your way into the core, into the main defenses that are going to take you out. Now, as you're going to see here, I'm actually going to come into this base straight in from the blower on, but slightly to the side. I'm also dropping all my troops around, as you can see. I do like to keep some minions and some archers on hand because the minions can go sometimes places the archers can't and vice versa. Then I also use my king. He's pretty much sacrificed right at the start. Some people like to keep their heroes. This is a Town Hall 8, so it's not the same as if you're taking on a 9 or a 10 where you might keep your hero to get you that extra percent to keep you from failing. When it comes to Town Hall 7s or 8s or even 9s for me a lot of the time, I will use that hero to get the percentage down because see, now what we've created is the funnel going into those 3 air defenses. None of our dragons are going to sway to the left and none of our dragons now are going to sway up there to the right. Hopefully we get a little bit more taken down there at the right by the time we come up and in. But as you can see here now, we're going to come into this base and keeping that blower slightly busy because them loons are going to do a lot of destruction. And you do want to get those dragons in there first. They are going to be your meat shields. Picture your loons as wizards and your dragons as giants. You're never going to put your wizards in front of your giants, just like you don't put your loons in front of your dragons. And if you can get the right funnel, a lot of Town Hall 8 bases can be taken down, especially if they're spread out. The tighter the base, the more compact, the more difficult I find to get it done. You're just taking on way too many defenses at once and getting pounded down. But as long as you kind of follow that path of clearing the obstacles out of the way to get your dragons to funnel in, you should be able to do a lot of damage. And going over to grab that last percent. Oh, so nice getting a 32, especially after you get like a minus 59 defense. Oh my goodness. It's brutal out there. Just saying. It's brutal. And, same thing here. Finding this Town Hall 8. Now, I'm going to put that dragon up in that corner because archer towers, they'll mess you up. I really want to be able to take that whole angle out up there again so that we can, funnel into the core and try and keep our troops from swaying back to the outside. That is really what gets you into a lot of trouble, is that if you just don't have enough obstacles cleared and your dragons or your troops, whatever troops you might be actually using, come back out, that's where things will go wrong. And as for what troops to use, I mean, this Town Hall 7, I recommend using dragons. We've always used dragons. We have modified the strat over the years a little bit. Used to be all dragons, and then we were all dragons with loons in CC, and then we changed down to having the pick-off troops because, it's a lot better to drop 4 archers or 4 minions in that case on your corner builder huts than it is to waste up 4 dragons. So that's where they come in really handy. And as you can see now there, we should be able to get into that center. We've got nothing to the right and really not much to the left. I did want that king to go up, but he kind of went down. But oh well, that's how it goes. Now, another thing I want you guys to notice, a lot of players are doing this wrong, in my opinion, is their placement of the rage. In one of the replays near the end there, I'll show you someone's, in my opinion, bad rage placement. I basically try to place the rages ahead of my troops, or so that my troops are right at the front of it, so that they can maximize their way through that rage. There's no sense dropping a rage that overlaps another rage. You can put it close enough that it doesn't overlap, that your troops will carry through that and still keep going. But when you start overlapping them, I've seen some people where literally all three rages will have touched each other, overlapping at one point in the center, which you could spread it out a lot more. You can get a lot more out of them rages if you just put them slightly ahead of your troops, right at the nose of those dragons or whatever troops you're using, and then they've got all that time to work their way through under the rage, as opposed to just taking down the buildings they're on and then immediately coming out and not being in rage anymore. That's just how I feel. I've always tried to keep that rage ahead of the troops a little bit, and hopefully that's what others try and do as well. Some people do get panicky. They see their troops getting, nailed by everything, and they're just dropping down their spells as quick as they can. But just take a moment to carefully carefully put your placement of the spell. Utilize it a little better. You'll go a little further. And wow, holy, the haters are funny, by the way. In my last video, that was hilarious. Accidentally left the commentary on, which I've been disabling on videos and posts now because, oh my god. Just give it a rest already, people. First of all, anybody that thinks I'm arrogant enough to think that Supercell or the game would change an entire recovery system just because of me is sadly mistaken. I made a video in an effort to draw attention that there is a problem, and there is more and more players out there that are often complaining about having their accounts fished and stolen. Don't pronounce that word wrong. And I was just basically, bringing it up. If people also feel that way and they agree to it, or if they're against that type of thing, if they have friends, if they've known anybody, it's just a little video, kind of give you a little bit of knowledge on, how these guys are doing it, what they're doing, and, what we can do about it as players, which, like I've said in the video, it has to be a lot of people. It has to be done in Reddit. It has to be something that gets a lot of hits. It can't just be, even if you post it in Reddit and nobody else commented on it, nothing's going to get done. It has to be something that the community stands behind. And some people haven't experienced the problem, and neither did I. I always thought that my accounts are perfectly safe. Supercell's way better than that, but it appears sometimes they're a little bit slack. And I don't know why I left the scroll in there. Oh, because I had messed up the first time recording it. Yes. Never leave your screen recording as you walk away and do something and forget. And so here you see on this base, I don't really have much options for taking out anything with my cleanup troops, but what you can do is basically start that wall in of dragons, and once that wall goes in, then you can start putting down things like the Barb King I had put down there, the minions up top, and get them to clear out them obstacles at about the halfway mark and up, or depending, where the air defense is. I always keep a couple dragons back because as they go in, some of them will funnel off the wrong way, so you can kind of help keep, a couple of dragons together here and a couple there. They'll do better that way than if you just flood them all in and, 6 go one way and 1 goes the other. Well, that one that's gone the other way is definitely not going to be doing a lot after it's dead, but you send 2 up that way, you get more done. So that's why I don't drop them all right at once. But as you can see again, just taking out the obstacles, trying to keep your troops or your main core from swinging out. You want them to just go through and do the best destruction that they can. And it's not going to work every time. I am showing these replays. And did I mess up this replay? You watch this. I bet you. Nope, I didn't. I thought I messed it up. Oh well. Anyways, like I said, I mean, it's not like every time on 3-star Town Hall 8s, you're going to lose on bases. And that just happens. I mean, I don't lose. It's not very often I've ever failed on a Town Hall 8. I think maybe once in 6 years, so that's pretty good. And base like this, things so far away from defense, you can pretty much clean up everything. Again, having the minions and having the archers means you can put the minions where the mortars are going to hit. They'll be a little bit further back. If there's no archers there, if there's archers, towers there, I should say, your minions usually, they're going to hit them. So that's where your archers come in handy. But again, you just got to pick your line between where the ground defense is going to hit and where the air defense is going to hit and where the ground and air defense is going to hit. And you kind of use the troops accordingly to that. Work your way in there, get that funnel going, and yeah. Now, on this one here, personally, I would have had the king already down on the left-hand side, taking out those buildings, just getting that part done. Probably could have put a couple extra minions over on the top there, get them cleaning that down quick. They're pretty much far enough down now, though, that your dragons aren't going to swing back out. But by now, definitely would have engaged all of my army. I would be all in by now. And again, you see, we don't have quite enough gone off that left side that it's not going to prevent them. You could have them dragons swing out off that cannon and down, and then you're not going to take your core. This should be okay now as they come down through. And here you go. Dropping down one rage. As you can see, drop that other rage, completely overlapping it with the other. You could have put that up and over to the edge and pretty much made your way right through with that full rage. And then again, another one on top of where the other rage was. Literally could have covered that entire core pink with rages and have come out the other side in full rage. And that's what I mean by just taking that little bit of extra time to see where your troops are versus where you're dropping your spell. Keep that rage in front of the nose of your troops and let them go through as much as they can. Try not to overlap them. Put them right up to each other. If you got to touch them, that's fine. But try not to do a big overlap and try not to land them halfway on your troops. And that's pretty much it for this video. So yeah, we are out of here. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I will see you all in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace and love. Peace and love. And don't forget to hit up on my Instagram channel at Zazo Gaming. I'm out.